Hi, my beautiful stars. I'm Ella, and I hope you're all doing great. For today's reading, we'll see the emotional root of a physical pain or illness. So, you might not know this, but most of the time, most illnesses or pains, physical pain, come from a limiting belief that turns into or is expressed by an emotion. And so we'll find out what is it and how can you heal it. We got three options today. Please go ahead and pick one. Pause the video if you need some time to reflect on it, and then if you're ready, let's start. So, my pile one, welcome. And let's see, what is this physical pain or illness? From what I see here, I don't think there's an illness. I think it's more physical pain. So there's an extreme emotional burden happening here. And the fact that you're not dealing with your emotions, there's a lot of stress and physical tension. And so I see here headaches happening, I see lower back pain. It has a lot to do with your nervous system. So it is normal if it is a bit dysregulated in this case, and we'll see what is causing it. So I just wanted to say here that um, something happened here that's obvious, and it took a toll on you emotionally. Even if you're not dealing with your emotions right now, if you're trying to be more rational, or the thing is, the vibe that I'm getting is you are way more focused on judging that person and their morals because they did you wrong than actually suffering and allowing yourself to feel your emotions and to express it. If you're sad, you're sad. Remind yourself that most of the time anger comes from sadness that couldn't be expressed. So maybe it's a good opportunity for you to sit alone and reflect on this. And if you feel the need to cry, then go ahead and cry. Like, we are all humans, we are supposed to deal with our emotions. You see, we shouldn't ignore our emotions because they are simply signs or an expression of our limiting beliefs, unconscious limiting beliefs that we don't know they exist. And so the emotion will bring you an opportunity for you to reflect on that, for you to stop for a second, feel it, acknowledge it, accept it, and then think, okay, why am I feeling this towards this? Is this the other person's fault? Because most of the time, no, it isn't. Like, it's always not our fault, but our responsibility. We somehow attracted someone or a specific situation that made us feel a certain way, so it could remind us that we have a limiting belief about ourselves or life in general that is conditioning us, so we can let go of it. So I think it's a process for you to reflect a lot and think a lot about that. And if you find the limiting belief, then just let go of it, because you understand it makes no sense for you anymore. You don't want to be with it anymore. You don't have to buy into it. There are negative emotions being poured into you, like by yourself. You are doing it with yourself. There's this, like, there's this sense of helplessness, of pessimism, of self-doubt, and doubt others around you. It's like suddenly you can't trust anyone, because the belief behind this is I can't trust anyone, especially the closest people around me, because they are the ones that will betray me, that will do me wrong, will maybe even cheat on me. It's like the people that you thought were supposed to support you and be with you and respect you and whatever did you wrong, were exactly these people that broke your heart. But you gotta understand, like, don't blame them and don't be in a place where you're simply criticizing them constantly and blaming them. This is a lesson for you, okay? There's something you need to learn from this situation. So step into a place where you're way more focused on, okay, what do I have to learn from here and to take from here in a good way, not in a bad way, not in one more limiting belief like no one is trustworthy, for an example. Like you don't want to add more limiting beliefs to you, do you? No. So it's way more about understanding like what is it teaching you about yourself, about your self-love, about, how you trust people or how you don't trust people, or even about expectations, like probably you had really high expectations about someone, they did not reach those expectations and quite the opposite. And so you got really, really hurt, but instead of being in a place of grief, you stepped in a place of judgment, of like a rational, but not in a positive way. It's not helping you heal. It's almost like obsessing over blaming this person, And this is not healthy for you, even, okay? So, what needs to be healed? Look, you need to open up your heart, okay? You need to express your emotions. You need to feel it, to allow yourself to feel it. Sit with yourself in a comfortable place and just by yourself and think of the situation and how it hurts. And if you feel like crying, then cry. If you feel like screaming, then scream. Like allow yourself to have this moment of grief so then you can properly heal and walk away from the situation and this person. You need to, because this is, I can see you're very, how can I say this? You're very new and immature, but I'm not saying it with a bad connotation, okay? It's just you're new to this, to feel, to express. Maybe you haven't done it properly in your life yet, okay? And so that's what you need to start doing if you want to heal from all of this. Allow your emotions to come, allow yourself to feel those emotions. Because look, they do not disappear just because you're trying to ignore them or you are way too focused on your rational mind. They stay there, and that's the problem. What is going to happen? It is already taking a toll physically on you. But if you keep ignoring them, it could get worse to the point where you'll get ill. Okay? And I don't want that for you. And I know you don't want that for yourself as well. So please open your heart, open your mind to this, and allow yourself to be vulnerable with yourself for a moment and feel this pain and say, okay, now that I feel it, I will change what I need to change and I will do my best and keep my life going in a positive way. And I learned what I needed to learn from this situation and this person. So, how can this issue be healed? Look, I'm sorry. This, you got to understand, first of all, that whatever happened to you was a karmic pattern or a karmic cycle for you, okay? Then you got to understand that maybe there was not love involved, but emotional dependency. Because we tend to get it confused sometimes, human beings, if you're not really conscious of what is happening, we tend to call things names that are not theirs. So most of the people, if you go around and look, they are not in love, they are emotional dependent, and but they do believe it's love. For them it's love, but it's not, okay? And this is just a fact. It's nothing like hopeless or not trying to be pessimist. It's just reality, and then you acknowledge it and then you're able to heal it and then finally find love. That's how it works. Besides that, how can you heal this issue? Once you understood it was a karmic pattern, you're gonna try to understand what's the limiting belief behind it and how familiar the situation was to you, okay? uh, did you see something similar happen between your parents or family members or someone close to you? The feeling that you had with this person when they did you wrong, was it similar in any way to something that you've experienced before? If it's new to you, then maybe, if you're interested in this, of course, I would advise you to go and try to read your birth chart. There's lots of information on the internet, or you can book a session with a professional online as well. Or, because sometimes we have something from past lives or parallel lives and we don't even know, and it's something we need to learn in this life. So I would advise you to do that if you're open for it. If you're not, then just try to understand what is the limiting belief behind all of that. So the first step towards this healing is you going on an inner journey. You go inside yourself, you ask yourself, you search for answers, just like we've been talking, trying to find out what's the limiting belief behind all of this and why was it important? Why was it in your life? Okay. Why did it have an impact on you? What is it saying about you? Ask yourself why. Why am I feeling this way? And just allow others to come. Okay. Don't question it too much. You just need answers, and we are open to any kind of information that could guide you in any way. If you need more information about how limiting beliefs work, I would advise you to search in the internet Bashar and limiting beliefs, and he's really, really good at explaining how everything works and how to heal from it and how to let go of limiting beliefs. And now, what changes in your life you will notice once the healing begins? You will feel way more grounded and very satisfied with yourself. You will maybe even notice more results in the material realm, like more money, more abundance. You will feel very abundant and very grounded. And all this messed up energy of a clouded mind and emotional immaturity will be gone. You will be quite the opposite. You will be very calm. You will be like, you will know who you are, where you stand, and you are learning more and more about yourself with experiences in your life. And so you don't see this person in this situation as something bad anymore. You understand that it had to happen, and so you could learn something about yourself that you didn't know you had. And so, one last message from the divine for you. They are asking you to allow yourself to shift your mindset and to transform yourself, to be a new person, to be a different person, someone that is more connected with themselves, with higher knowledge, with your intuition, with understanding that things happen for a reason, and you just allow it to come to you and take whatever you believe it's good for you from that situation and let go of the rest. And also take inspiration from whatever happens and do different, be different, and even create good things from this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but especially artists, they usually, because they are very creative or they are very connected with their creative side, they most of the time use their heartbreaks and the situations that annoy them the most or make them angry or make them sad. They turn it into beautiful art, into music, into paintings, into anything literally. So allow yourself to be this creative with yourself, even if you're not an artist, and just take the inspiration and make something good out of this. That's the advice. So, thank you so much for watching my group one. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you in my next video. So, my group two, welcome. Let's describe first what's your physical pain or illness. Look, from what I got here, we have chronic issues like headaches or long term health problems. There could be also immune system issues like an inability to fight off an infection or disease, or even being a physical injury that forces you to rest and to feel somehow stuck, like not able to move as you wished. There is this like emotional stagnation that manifests itself as a physical stagnation. So maybe somehow something happened to you and it kind of forces you to stop moving, to stop doing things in your life. We'll understand just in a second why does that happen. But this could be also very, very strong here, a burnout happening. And I do believe it might be because you're refusing to heal some part of you or to go inside yourself and to rethink and reflect about a situation, a feeling, a belief. And you're so focused on a daily basis that you're kind of like ignoring this, or maybe you're so focused in going out and taking action towards trying to reach your goals, like material goals, that you've forgotten how important it is, our emotional side and the impact that it has on our body and on our life. And so I do believe that this is a moment, this pain, physical pain or illness, is here to force you to pause for a second, to force you to sit down and sit with your emotions and sit with your problems and deal with it. Okay, because we cannot run away from our own mind and our own trauma. So I think this is a good opportunity for you, to be honest, if you see it with an open mind and an open heart. So now, what emotion is in the root of this issue? So what I see here is your necessity to take action and to go and do it. Your inner fire, like your necessity of always having to be doing something and you can't just stop and sit with yourself. This is what's causing this pain. It's almost like it gets to a point where it feels like you're unconsciously trying to find things to do so you can run away from your mind and from your heart. That's what I'm getting. And the limiting belief here is that either you have nothing to heal, like inside of you, or you maybe you believe you don't have any trauma or anything that is affecting your life, that is not in the material realm, or you believe that you are already healed. But what I'm getting here is you are not. There's things to be healed and to be looked at here. You got to be really careful with your impulsive energy. It's really important for us to think before doing something and why are you doing it? And if you're the type of person that can't stay at home for much longer without having anything to do, then maybe you should really sit with yourself and think, reflect on this. Like, why do you feel the necessity of always being doing something, always taking action, and maybe even risky action? you know is it really fulfilling you? Does this make sense for you? Are you not just trying to run away from something, from yourself, from your own pain? Like, this reflection is really important for you in this moment. And so this illness or physical pain is an opportunity for you to actually reflect and think about that. Like, what are you feeling right now that you can't move, now that you have to stay still and be with your thoughts, if you're not trying to entertain yourself with other things? Like, what are you feeling? What does this make you feel? And reflect about it, like, what emotions does it bring you? What beliefs, what thoughts come to your mind? So what needs to be healed here? Look, I do believe that you've been working yourself to the point of exhaustion or a burnout here, as we said before. And you gotta understand that Abundance and achieving our goals, it's not about working and working and working, especially if it's something that it's having on you, especially if it's not your passion, if it's not something that you like to do. When something is waiting on us, maybe we got to stop for a second and ask ourselves, is this really what I want to do? Because the money isn't worthy of your health, like mental and physical health. It is not worthy of that. You got to understand that what you need to heal here is you got to be creative again. You got to focus on doing what you love to do and doing something that allows you to express your true nature and who you truly are and be this star and this sun for people. It's way more about looking for your own path, something that aligns with you and with your excitement, with your passion. Maybe that's what you need right now, to find what you're passionate about to do. And not because of money, not because of abundance, not because of what this is bringing to you, like expectations from other people or praises or validation. No, this is about you. This is your life. This is your career. This is your life, your health. So you decide. You gotta find something that you love to do, that you would do for free every single day. Once that thing comes up to your mind, you know that's your path, that's where you should go. And you will see that when you actually take action towards it, you won't feel exhausted and things will flow so much better. You will see results so much faster, as long as you're not expecting the results, as long as you're not waiting for the results, for the money, for the abundance. So, how can this issue be healed? Look, you gotta make a decision. First of all, you gotta be very balanced in the way of that you think and in the way that you take action. But most of it, you use this time where you're in a moment of rest. You use it to reflect on what you're gonna do after this when you recover. Will you keep going the same path? Remember that you will probably get physically ill again. Or will you go a different path? Will you try to follow your passion? There's a decision that needs to be made here. So the first step to take towards healing is actually sitting with your emotions, let yourself feel everything that needs to be felt, understand the belief behind it, and then take things slowly. Never push through or push yourself too much to the point where you get a burnout, to the point where you get completely exhausted, and to the point where your physical body has to stop you from taking another step. This is about boundaries that your body, your mind, yourself needs to impose on yourself. If you want to heal, you got to reflect on how you deal with your daily basis and with your work, and making sure that you create a routine that will allow you to rest as you need and to pause if you need. And also, emotionally, it's a moment where you should let yourself feel whatever you need to feel that you've been running away from. Think about whatever you need to think about and you need to reflect on. Now, the change in your life that you will notice once the healing begins. First of all, I see lots of there's probably a recovery if you're injured or like very ill, or even from the burnout. There is going to be a recovery, that's for sure. And then you'll be able to celebrate it with people around you that love you and that you love them. And you'll be able to maybe enjoy yourself more with friends, even, or family, like going out just spending time with people and enjoying life instead of focusing so much on what you have to do, and what you believe that you have to do. And now, to finish this reading, one final message from the divine. They are asking you to retract for some time, like to use this time where you're forced to be stuck or to stop for a second, to pause your life, to be laying down or sitting down, and use it to go through all that we've been talking about till now. Really go deep into your emotions, into your feelings, into, is this my passion? Is this not? Am I working for money? Am I not? Is it worthy of my health? Is it not? Everything. And then they also advise you to create. It's like, now that, because I see that you will change your perspective in this. And once you do it, you will bring with yourself a mindset that is way more focused on creativity and creating something new. Maybe you'll even have an idea or something that is really, really aligned with you. And you will be, first of all, taking really good care of yourself, because you will understand how important it is to prioritize your health and your well being. And then I see you creating new things, new projects, new ideas, and nourishing it. So I'm really happy for you if you go this path, of course. And this is all I got for you, my group 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Hi, my group 3. Welcome. And so let's start your reading, okay? The first thing we need to find out is, let's describe your physical pain or illness so you can know if this reading is for you or if you could choose another option. So first of all, what I see here is exhaustion. Let's start with that. That's very, very present here. But now, listen. There are physical symptoms you are feeling that are rooted in an emotional turmoil, such as sadness, anxiety, or heartbreak. Okay? This this exhaustion has a lot to do with your emotional side, the need for love, the need for care, and you not respecting your own body limits, basically. It is very good if you find balance between pursuing your desires or a person or whatever it might be and resting to prevent exhaustion. This is a reminder for you to nurture yourself and not just focus on others or romantic ideas or partners. It's a reminder that, okay, imagine you're in a relationship that is draining you, but you're so emotional dependent on that relationship that even if it's hurting you so much and exhausting you so much, you are not leaving. Imagine if it's a person that you try to go after them and they're always trying to like run away from you in a way, not physically, but um, they're they don't give you the attention that you need, and they try to avoid you, and you are always constantly trying to get ahead of them, like trying to talk to them, trying to understand why are they being like that, why are they not paying you attention, not giving you affection. And this feels like a chase after something that is running away from you, and you are not respecting your own body. Like your body is giving you signs like that's enough, that's not for you. You do not need to go after a person that is running away from you. That person is showing you that they are not for you, and you just got to accept that fact. This is a pile where if you're not feeling a burnout already, you're very close to one. And it has to do with high stress on your daily basis. Basically, it's like almost every day you're very, very stressed. It's almost like you're obsessing over something that you're not receiving, and you're trying to somehow get to that thing or get to that person, but it is not working. So feeling even more anxious about it. And maybe be really, really, really careful, because you could get like an addiction or some problems with alcohol and other like drugs and things like that. And also, if you're feeling very like, if you're noticing vague symptoms like physical, that you think that it might be like an illness or something like that, because this is a water card and it could represent something that is hidden, maybe it's a good thing for you to go and do a checkup, like a medical checkup, just to make sure that you stay healthy. And if you need anything, that you will have that. So, from what I'm seeing here, because next thing we have is, what is the emotion that is causing this physical pain and illness? And we have literally like a burnout from a partnership. Like there's someone else involved here, or you're stressing yourself, like you're not able to balance things on your daily basis, and you're not able to deal with every task you have to do daily. But I do feel like this is more emotional connected, so it might be really a partnership. It might be literally a partner, a friend, or anyone that you care very much, and you're kind of like dependent emotionally on them to get to this point, like this is very alarming. If this is a relationship, I'm starting to think that there is this scenario that might be happening. So basically, you're starting to believe that it's all your fault, that this person doesn't want to be with you, and that you have lots of things to heal and change. And it's not like you're wrong, but you do believe that if you change, this person will stay with you. Even if they literally tell you this, believe me, that's not how it works. If you healed, this person would not be with you anymore, like literally, because you wouldn't want to be with this person to start with. You will be vibrating in a much higher frequency, and you will see the world in a different way. You wouldn't feel emotional dependent, so you would notice how this person is not so amazing, and that you don't need them, and so you would probably walk away from them, literally. So you're trying to maybe even repress your own emotions in a way, like because you feel like you're guilty in somehow, and you need to be like this perfect image so you will be loved, so this person will finally give you what you want and what you feel like you need, this reassurance, this validation, this affection. You're trying to repress your own emotions when this person does something that you do not like, and you try to express it. This time you're trying not to express it, because the last times you've been doing that, it ended with you guys probably having an argument, and this person like avoiding you or ghosting you. And also be very, very careful, because these cards can also show that there's a savior complex, either from you or from the other person. um Maybe you're trying to help this person and you're like obsessing over them, and you want to help them. Maybe they don't want to be helped. And if it's the opposite, maybe this person started a relationship or starting talking to you, not because they really love you, but because they saw the potential in you and they wanted to help you somehow, but they are getting tired of it already, because that's how energy works basically, like I do believe that this relationship gave already what was all to be given, and it's time for you to part away, because you need to heal seriously. This is affecting your physical body, like let's be really careful here. And you do not deserve someone like them. You deserve someone much better, and for that you need to heal and you need to upgrade yourself. There might also be a tendency for you to believe in, oh, this person will change, or I will be able to help them change, or in this like fantasy world that if you stop for a second and you truly look at the situation that you're in, you will understand that there's no happy ending there for you two to be together, for an example. So what you really need to be healed here is courage to take these pink colored glasses to understand that maybe this is not love, it's emotional dependency that is very like we humans perceive it as something really similar. That's why it's so tricky. And once you've allowed yourself with an open heart and an open mind to see this, like how things work, and to acknowledge that if this was the right person, you would never, never get to this state that you are right now. Never. It was someone healthy for you, and you will be healthy for them. This is not the relationship of your life, and that's okay. You deserve so much better, you know? So you really need this courage to understand all of this and then take a step towards self-love, towards healing, towards letting go of this person and this situation. To understand that maybe, yes, you have problems, you have issues, but you're not the main problem here. Like both of you have blame or responsibility in how the situation is right now. And you acknowledge that so you don't blame yourself, you don't feel guilty, because feeling guilty and blaming yourself is not going to help you either. So how can this physical pain, illness, this whole problem be solved or be healed? First things first, you need to start taking care of yourself and you need to love yourself. Like, seriously. Look, this is how energy works. If you don't love yourself to start with, what's going to happen is you will attract people that will prove you right. If you don't love yourself, it's because you have some belief inside of you that has to do with your value, with your worth, with your self-esteem. Like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough to be loved even. Okay, so how can you finally attract someone that you love, that they love you back, and it's something healthy? You need to love yourself first. Like, nowadays there are so many different tools you can use to start loving yourself. It's like actions of self-love, daily actions. You don't need to go on full force on this, no, but daily things that help you focus on yourself, doing things that you love, taking care of yourself, bringing comfort and love to yourself, and allow you to rest and not force your body to keep going, to keep pushing through this burnout. You know, that's what you need to start healing. So your first step towards healing is exactly this, what we've been talking about. You need to allow yourself to judge the situation by its real glasses. Okay, like, you stop for a second, you take a step back to watch the scene in front of you. Maybe imagine if you had a daughter or a son in that same position as you. What would you tell them to do? You know, how would you advise them? Would you tell them to keep pursuing this person, this situation, this partnership, this relationship? I doubt that, because you know better. And you know what you need to do. You need to create, to build your own structure, to be strong, to remind yourself how strong you are, how confident you are. Because you see, you could only feel unloved if you were so loved unconsciously that would allow you to feel unloved. This is how energy works and how the world works. You can only experience something if you have experienced the opposite of it, basically. You can only value it and you can only perceive it once you've experienced the opposite. So you allow yourself to feel or to believe that you're not loved because you are so unconditionally loved. And you might tell me, how am I loved? Like, there is no one in my life that loves me. And I'm telling you, you are not this body. You are not who you are in this earth right now, in this dimension. That's not who you are. That's simply a character you're playing. Like, you are a soul. And just so you know, existence is the frequency of love. So that itself tells you that you are loved because you are love. And you could never, like, people misunderstand this a bit. It's like you have to gain confidence. No, you are already as confident as you could be, but you're confident that you're not confident, and that's the problem. But it's a matter of choosing. If you say today, like, starting today, I'll be confident that I'm confident, and then you will be confident. It's as simple as this. We humans love to complicate these things and to think that is really, really hard, but that's just limiting beliefs, to be honest. And so it's time for you to open your eyes. It's time for you to understand that maybe something has come to a close, to an end. Maybe something is not serving you anymore, nor you, nor the other person, and that's okay. So, the change in life that you will notice once the healing starts, you will see how you allow yourself, like, you're not pursuing anything anymore. You're just watching whatever grows growing, and whatever doesn't, don't. And whatever doesn't, not growing. You're just, it's like you're not forcing anything. You're in a state of patience, of understanding how things work, of allowing things to grow. Whatever needs to grow will grow. And allowing as well whatever needs to live your life to live your life. When you get into this state, you know you are healing. Because this is a process, okay? It can take some time, but it's not impossible, nor difficult. Unless you believe it is, unless you tell yourself that it is difficult, then you will experience it to be difficult. And finally, to end this reading, we have a message from the divine. There's three main things you need to focus right now, and I'm going to tell you the names of it. Well-being, hope, and love. But I'm talking about real love. I'm not talking about loving other person. I'm talking about self-love and love for the things around you, appreciation. You focusing on your well-being because it is your priority. It has to be. No one will take care of you if you don't. And you have the proof literally in front of your eyes. Hope. You need hope because you need to understand that this is not the end of the world and it's not the end of your life. Look, this might look really, really hard for you, and I feel you. But in this moment, you need to be a bit more rational because your emotional side is causing you to sink deeper, and you need to lift yourself up. So you need hope. You need to trust. You need faith. Trust how things work. Trust that you're more than enough, that you will have the glow up. And I'm not talking only physically, like, I'm talking in every single area. You will be surprised of how incredible, like, this version of yourself is. How amazing you will be very, very soon if you start working on yourself. And love, because that's what you need. You don't need love. You need to acknowledge that love was always there with you and for you. Even if it's not a physical person giving you love, you have a spirit team cheering for you, loving you, supporting you constantly. You just have to allow yourself to see the signs. to allow yourself to feel it, connect with them. Sit for a second and close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out, and then allow yourself to feel them hugging you, sending you love, sending you light. And so, my pile number 3, I end your reading here. I wish you all the best, and I wish that you recover very fast. And sending you love, and I'll see you in my next video.